Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to News Cycle on Global Television. Coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja, I am Jumai Manson. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and free to air on Nicomsat. Now the news in full. President Bola Tinubu has dismissed 5 ministers from his cabinet. This was contained in a statement by the special advisor to the president on social media, Dada Olusegun. The affected ministers are Ministers of Women Affairs, Barrister Uju Ken Oheneye, Minister of Tourism, Lola Adejohn, Minister of Education, Professor Tahir Mamon, Minister of State for Housing and Urban Development, Abdullahi Mohammed Gwazo, the Minister of Youth Development, Dr. Jamila Biu Ibrahim. President Bola Tinubu has appointed 7 new ministers to his cabinet. The appointment was announced in a statement issued by the presidency following the Federal Executive Council meeting today. Bianca Odemigwe Ojukwu was appointed as Minister of State for Foreign Affairs, while Jumoke Oduwole was named Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment. 5 other individuals were also appointed as new ministers. The Federal Executive Council has scrapped the Niger Delta Ministry and Ministry of Sports Development. There will now be a Ministry of Regional Development to oversee all regional development commissions such as Niger Delta Development Commission, Northwest Development Commission, Southwest Development Commission, Northeast Development Commission. The National Sports Commission will take over the role of the Ministry of Sports. The Council also approved the merger of the Ministry of Tourism with the Ministry of Culture and Creative Economy. The decision was taken today at the meeting of the Federal Executive Council in Abuja. Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, has confronted residents of the FCT over accusations of illegal land acquisition during a heated visit to Lugbe area of the FCT. The minister, in a video recorded by one of the residents during the confrontation and shared on social media, criticized residents who had protested against the recent demolition of properties in the area. Wike, who was surrounded by security personnel, scolded the residents for allegedly claiming land illegally, adding that the proper legal channel for disputes was the court. The residents, however, challenged Wike's claims, insisting they had documents proving their legal ownership of the land. Also in the news, the Socio-Economic Rights Accountability Project, SIRAP, has urged the Minister of the FCT, Nyesom Wike, to withdraw his threat to arrest beggars in the nation's capital or face legal action. The group, in a post on its official X handle, stated that no one should be criminalized for their socioeconomic status, adding that the minister should provide opportunities to help them rebuild their lives and reintegrate into society. The minister had earlier threatened a crackdown on beggars during the flag-off ceremony of Access Road construction in the Katampe district of the federal capital, as he announced that enforcement agents will start apprehending them from Monday. SIRAP is, however, urging the minister to immediately address the socioeconomic rights of marginalized individuals in the FCT. The Minister of State for Youth Development, Oluwande Ayodele, said the federal government is more than ready to foster national solidarity and promote the development of youths in the country. The minister, in a statement signed by the president of the Nigerian Youth Union, NYU, Chinomso Obasi, made this known when a delegation of the union paid him a visit in his Abuja office and made their demands. According to Obasi, the youth delegation demanded the need to reorganize the Nigerian youth structure and reorient Nigerian youth on the need for national cohesion. In his response, the minister reaffirmed the ministry's willingness to collaborate with the group in addressing the concern raised. As the 15-day ultimatum issued by the Academic Staff Union of Polytechnics, ASUP, to the federal government to meet its demand expires, more lecturers have endorsed the ASUP National Executive Council's position to mobilize its members to withdraw their services. The Union Zone D coordinator, Dr. Uloma Richards, speaking in Port Harcourt, said that the government has yet to address the contentious issue in the new guidelines, highlighting the alleged disregard for quality control in polytechnic education, which he warned that, if allowed to persist, it would lead to the collapse of technical and vocational education in the country. ASUP threatened to embark on strike should the government fail to address the contentious new scheme of service for polytechnic lecturers across the country. Over now to Ogun State government has urged residents of flooded areas and communities across the state to relocate immediately. Some of the communities affected by the recent release of water from Oyan Dam include Isheri Riverview Estate, Oshon Estate, Opik Estate, Arakbo, Mawura, Akute, Alagbole, Amagboro, among others. The government urged residents in these areas to heed its earlier flood alert advisory to either relocate or evaluate their homes during this time of the year. Minister of Defense Mohammed Badaru has warned mischief makers seeking to instill fear in Nigerians to desist from doing so, saying that the armed forces will not tolerate such. Badaru gave this warning while delivering a keynote at the 3rd National Conference of the Forum of Former Deputy Governors of Nigeria in Abuja theme, Strategic Solutions for Good Governance, Food Security and Sustainable Growth in Nigeria. The minister, who was represented by his special advisor, Technical Ahmed Jibrim, said the armed forces will not relent in bringing all enemies of Nigeria to justice. He assured Nigerians of the armed forces' commitment to provide security in order to boost food security in the country. Former President Olusegun Obasanjo has blamed the disunity in the country as a reason behind the country's lack of achieving greatness. The former president disclosed this in Abeokuta when he received the 20-member delegation of League of Northern Democrats, led by the former governor of Kano State, Alhaji Ibrahim Shekarau. He said, despite the uprising solution of things in the country, he remains an incurable optimist about these things turning around for good for the country. Obasanjo also blamed regionalism as practiced during obtaining independence in October 1960 as the foundation of the country's prolonged lack of cohesion. Senate President Godswill Akpabio has urged the Senate to invite the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency and other relevant agencies to substantiate the drug-related allegations made against the Deputy Senate Leader, Yisa Ashiru. The NDLEA, in a statement by its spokesperson, Femi Babafemi, alleged that the senator's residence in Kwara was raided after intelligence revealed it was being used as a drug joint. Recall that the agency had hit back at Ashiru after he accused it of being the most corrupt and compromised agency. During the last week debate on a bill seeking to establish the National Institute for Drug Awareness and Rehabilitation, speaking after a motion by Ashiru at plenary, Akpabio dismissed the NDLEA's claim, describing them as motivated by personal vendetta, just as Senate constituted a 6-member and had committee to probe the allegations. Farouk Lawan, a former member of the House of Representatives, has regained freedom from the Kuje Custodia Center in Abuja. Lawan, who was the chairman of the House of Representatives Ad Hoc Committee on Fuel Subsidy Regime, was arraigned in 2013 after he allegedly demanded a bribe of $3 million from billionaire businessman Femi Otedola, who accused him of receiving the sum of $500,000. The bribe was said to help influence the removal of the name of his oil company from the list of indicted companies in the fuel subsidy scam of 2012. Kano State Hisbah Commission has declared a Jigawa State Commissioner for Special Duties, Awolu Sankara, wanted. Sankara had earlier been arrested by operatives of the commission on illegal allegation of having an affair with a married woman. Global TV correspondent Idris Jabril tells us more.
Addressing a news conference, Commander General of the Kano State Hisbah Commission, Aminu Ibrahim Daurawa, says Awolu Sankara and one Tasnim Babanabeg were arrested along Lamido Crescent on suspicion of having an affair. Hisbah officials went to the venue where they were, where we are suspecting them to be, and we met them there inside car. Even the Tasnim herself, she hits 5 of our operatives, destroy their phones, but still we managed to arrest them and brought them here to Hisbah Command. Awolu was granted a bail but refused to show up to the command for possible settlement with the husband of Tasnim. They requested for settlement, and Hisba agreed that they should settle out of court, especially Nasiru Buba and Tasnim, because they have children in between them. I personally called Awal Sankara to come here. He told me he is not aware that there is going to be a settlement here today, but he said he is coming. So we have waited this long. He has not come. So right now, we are declaring him wanted.
According to
Tasnim husband, one Nasiru Buba, he has been suspecting his wife's affair with Awalu Sankara, hence his official report to the Hisba Commission, whose operatives later stormed Awalu's guest house at Lamido Crescent in Kano.
It's not like allegedly, you understand? Like, we have evidences, we have videos, we have a lot of things, audios and so on. We've been tracking them with Hisba, and sometimes even the police helped us in some of the movement.
Although all attempts to speak with Awalu Sankara were not successful, the Jigawa state government has since announced the suspension of Awalu pending investigation into the allegation against him. From Kano, Idris Jubrin reporting for...
Still in Kano, traders in Singa markets of Kano State have called on the federal government to provide a permanent solution to the persistent increase in prices of food items across the country. Global TV correspondent Idris Jubrin reports that despite the availability of food items in the market, prices have continued to increase at an alarming rate. His report.
This is Singa Market in Kano, the largest commodity market in northern Nigeria. Food items by the truckloads arrive here on daily basis, and there are over 150,000 people trading in Singa Market daily.
It is a kind of market that, serves at least Kano and the environs, and even some neighboring countries, actually.
We have Zone 1, which covered Bellarot, Zone 2, which covered Kandoki. We have Zone 3, which covered Adobayero Road. We have Zone 4, which covered Bella Dandago, and also Yulawa. Zone 5, which covered Bata.
Despite the viability and availability of food items in this market, Traders Union says hundreds of their members have shut down their businesses due to continuous price increase in recent times.
We encountered multiple increase, and some items, even the prices of some items is even multiplied by 100% actually.
According to traders, increase in high cost of production, foreign exchange, poor government policies are some of the reasons responsible for the current economic hardship among Nigerians, leading to price increase virtually on daily basis.
Increase of forex, that's the dollar price. It is almost double from that period to date. Beside that one, there is an increment on the power also. So that's the second reason they are given. Beside that one, even the cost of labor, cost of protection, everything.
For most Nigerians, however, unless the current inflation is controlled, high cost of production and transportation are reduced, the future of Nigeria's economic sector may likely continue to remain bleak. From Kano, Idris Jubrin reporting for Global Television News.
You're watching News Cycle on Global Television, coming to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. When News Cycle returns, World Health Organization says intense bombardment stops Gaza polio vaccination. Details of these, as well as our foreign and sports stories, coming right after this break. Please. You're welcome back, and if you're just tuning in, this is Global Television, bringing you live broadcast of News Cycle. Thank you for staying with us. On our business desk, the International Monetary Fund, IMF, has said Nigeria's currency, the Naira, is showing signs of stability. This, it says, is due to recent interest rate hikes and the clearing of foreign exchange backlogs by the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN. The IMF made this known during a press briefing in Washington, D.C. IMS Financial Counselor and Director of Monitoring Capital Markets, Tobias Adrin, acknowledged the efforts of the CBN in controlling inflation and stabilizing the foreign exchange market. The federal government has withdrawn the money laundering charges against Binance Holdings Limited executive Tigran Gambaryan. Binance U.S. Head of Financial Crime Compliance, Gambaryan, and the Exchange British Kenya Regional Manager for Africa, Nadeem Ajwala, were facing monetary laundering charges to the tune of $35 million brought against them by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC. They were both initially detained in the custody of the Office of the National Security Advisor. Ajwala, however, fled lawful custody on March 22, 2024, while his counterpart, Gambaryan, was arraigned in April. Following his arraignment, the court ordered his remand to Kuje Correctional Facility. The federal government has stopped the export of locally produced liquefied petroleum gas, also known as cooking gas. To prioritize domestic supply, Minister of State Petroleum Resources, Gas, Ekperikbe Ekpo, made the announcement saying the ban will begin November 1, 2024. As such measures is to tackle the high gas price in Nigeria. In a statement by the spokesman of the minister, Louis Iba, the decision was reached after the minister convened a high-level meeting in Abuja with stakeholders to address the skyrocketing price and its attendant hardship on Nigerians. The Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited has required equipment and other necessary items to set up an additional 40 compressed natural gas stations nationwide. The Program Director and Chief Executive Officer of the Presidential Compressed Natural Gas Initiative, Olugbami Michael, disclosed this to newsmen in Ogun State, saying the NNPC has set up 12 CNG centers in the last 12 months, with 6 in Abuja and 6 in Lagos. The federal government is also planning to have about 100 CNG stations in the next 6 months. On our foreign decks, the World Health Organization has said that intense bombardment and escalating violence in northern Gaza has forced it to postpone the final phase of child polio vaccination drive. The UN Health Agency said the vaccination campaign was called off due to the escalating violence, intense bombardment, mass displacement order, and lack of assured humanitarian pauses across most of northern Gaza. Although the necessary second round of vaccination has been completed in central and southern Gaza and was to begin in the north. The WHO said it had been compelled to postpone the bid to give 279 children in northern Gaza a second vaccine dose. Israel launched a major air and ground assault in northern Gaza this month, vowing to stop Hamas militants from regrouping in the area. Defense Secretary John Helen says Trump's campaign has got it wrong. He says the compromisers are individual Labour Party members and that there is no organized deal on this, as they all are volunteers and they pay their way. He added that this is Trump's campaign doing what campaigners do, creating controversy during an election, reiterating that they will work with whatever president the American people elect. Reports say Donald Trump's campaign has accused the UK's Labour Party for blatant foreign interference in a complaint filed to the US Federal Election Commission, FEC. Also, Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer has played alleged interference by the Labour Party in the U.S. presidential election. Sir Keir, who met Trump last month, said party staff going to the U.S. to campaign for Democratic candidate Kamala Harris were volunteers doing it in their spare time and saying whatever volunteers. Meanwhile, the Environment Secretary Steve Reed said the Labour Party had not funded or organized their trips, just as Sir Keir denied the role risked jeopardizing its relationship with Trump. King Charles has arrived in Samoa for the four-day state visit, where he will preside for the first time over a gathering of Commonwealth presidents and prime ministers. Prime Minister Fayam Naomi Matafa greeted the King and Queen. Kamala at Folo International Airport, where a red carpet had been rolled out amid high winds and last-minute vacuum cleaning. The Royal Samoan Police Band began playing as the couple alighted and met local officials. And finally, on sports, an 89th-minute late goal saw under 17 Nigerian women team, the Flamingos, beat host Dominican Republic in Santo Domingo in an ongoing 2024 FIFA Under-17 Women's World Cup. Midfielder Shakirat Mashoud collected the ball from 25 yards and launched a powerful left-footed strike at goal which went past the Dominican goalkeeper, marking her fourth in the tournament. The win is the Flamingos' third consecutive as they emerge Group A leaders above Ecuador host Dominican and New Zealand. The Flamingos have been in blustering form in the South American nation, winning their 2 games, scoring 8 goals and conceding just 1. Real Madrid duo Talbot Castro-Rodrigo are likely to miss the Calcio clash with La Liga league leaders Barcelona on Saturday with injury problems. Madrid reveals in a statement that Carlos has been diagnosed with an abductor injury in his left leg, which Ukrainian stopper Andrei Lenin has usual replacement who had earlier stood in for him in the month after Belgium suffered a minor hip injury. Meanwhile, Rodrigo appeared hurt during the final stage of the win over Dortmund, and Madrid coach Ancelotti said the winger had a muscular injury. Spanish media reported that Rodrigo is poised to miss the game against league's leader with a hamstring issue. To end the news cycle on global television, here is a quick summary. And that's it on News Cycle, and it came to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. A quick reminder that Global TV is on DSTV channel 365, Star Times channel 276, and free to air on Nicomsat. Kindly follow us across all social media platforms by using the Global TV News and other handles now showing on your screen. I am Jumai Manson. Thank you for watching.